Hey, what's going on, guys? Andrew here, back at you with another random review. And if you can see, this isn't probably the best one to see it on, but this, wait till it keeps coming further. And I don't actually really think you'll be able to see this that good. I see in my camera that it's not that. That is somebody's body, obviously, as you can see, and you can see that's glitter coming down from that. So, it's much more beautiful whenever you can actually see it in person. But as you can see there, the movie that I'm doing is The Neon Demon, and if you can tell by this cover, you can see what kind of movie you're gonna get yourself into here. So basically, the brief synopsis for this film, because this film came out this year, and I'm not even sure if half of you have even maybe seen it, or even maybe it fell under your radar and you haven't even heard of it. So basically, it's this. This girl moves to LA after she lost both of her parents, and she is a model, and she's kind of breaking into the modeling business, and she's one of those girls that just kind of has that it factor. You know, everybody just kind of just naturally gravitates to her, and you get that kind of natural, everything about this is like natural and everything like that. So it's definitely, and obviously everybody kind of like, when everybody gravitates towards her, that has everybody else that's a model that's very, very jealous of her. So that's kind of the, and then things happen from there. She gets friends, and the weird shit starts happening then. Now, I don't want to over exaggerate when I say weird shit, because when I listened to some of the reviews on this movie, and when I heard about, some weird, it's got some weird stuff happening and everything, I thought that I was just going to get myself into this completely insane thing with this, it's really not that kind of movie. Like, it was definitely different, and I actually really appreciated that. Basically, I don't know I can't pronounce the director's name. It's like, it's Nicholas, and it's Winding, and then it's P-E-F-N, so Peffin? Peffin or something. I don't know how to pronounce it. And I can't remember the name. Oh no, he directed also a movie from, I think it was 2014 or 15. It's called Only God Forgives. Now, it was one of those movies where I started to watch it, and I had to do something, and then I never got back into watching it again. But I do notice that a lot of his films have the same kind of feel to it. They're all really, at least those two. I haven't seen any of his other ones, but they're slower paced. And what sets this apart from like a typical Hollywood movie is that when scenes are developing, you basically have where like it'll cut to a shot of the person, and then there'll be a pause, and there's just dead silence, and then the person will talk, and this whole movie is really quiet. So if you were to compare it to a movie, it feels like a Swedish film. It feels like if you were watching Let the Right One In. It feels like Let the Right One In with Goodnight Mommy, with the cinematography and the feel of Goodnight Mommy, because this movie's really light. It's got a lot of bright colors. Actually, it has the same color palette as Suspiria. It got all of its, a lot of its cinematography and a lot of the colors that they use. They use a lot of purple, they use a lot of red, they use a lot of blue. That's the same colors kind of used in Suspiria. And I gotta tell you, this is one of the this is either second or first of the most beautiful movies I have ever watched in my entire life. Even if you're not as interested in the things that are going on the screen, I was completely captivated by the beauty that every shot had. Even if it wasn't like this hypnotic, blue and everything, you got this glitter and everything. Even if it wasn't one of those scenes, just everything about this is rich in color. Everything about it, like, It was so beautiful. My God, like, I could not get this movie out of my head for like 2 days because it was so beautiful. And, you know, I just kind of rewatched a couple scenes of it, you know, last night because I'd watched it a couple weeks ago. And I didn't have time, unfortunately, to rewatch the whole movie, but I watched pretty much all the scenes that I, you know, really wanted to watch and, you know, to re-jog my memory. And it just like, if you wouldn't like a movie that's like slow paced like that and everything, and if you know that's not your type, watch this movie just for the colors alone. Because if you're seeing like this right here, like, just watch it for the colors and the beauty of the cinematography alone. Like, that will be worth it for you. Like, it is worth the hour and 50 minutes of your life for it. Trust me. But I can understand that the way that the film is shot and the way that the story develops is not going to be for everybody. It is very slow paced. It is very slow paced. I would say it is like The Witch in that it's very slow paced like that. Like, it's slower paced than It Follows, and it's got that pacing of Goodnight Mommy and Let Me In. I will just keep referring back to those films. So if you like those movies, if you like them, I would think that you might like this movie. You might not like the story of it, but it won't bore you. But yeah, it's a beautifully shot, beautifully acted. It stars Ellie Fanning, or Elle Fanning, I don't know. You can pronounce it either way. I don't know how she pronounces it. But I actually will be watching the director's commentary after this just because I feel like it, because I really want to know how they shot this film and how the director directed this film. Now, as I said before, this is the last art horror film that I really missed in the past couple years, at least that I'm aware of. This made some noise, but it didn't make as much noise as like an It Follows or something. I remember when this came out in theaters and I really, really wanted to see it, but I just didn't have the time. So instead, I just bought it whenever it first came out. It was so worth it. It was so well directed. It was so well shot. It was so... I mean, I really love everything about this. The story was captivating. Now, being an art horror film, this film has a metaphor going through the entire movie. Actually, it has multiple metaphors. And this movie has layer upon layer upon layer of metaphors. You can even just tell by the cover of the movie. You got the city in the background, you got lips, and you got the girl laying dead, and that's actually not even, that's the very first shot of the movie because it's actually a photo shoot, so it's not, it's not giving away the ending or anything of it. But with that being said, I did want to kind of talk about some of the metaphors, and I will have a spoiler in here, but I will tell you before I'm going to spoil it. I'm not spoiling it right now, but I will give you a warning before I spoil it. Now, for me, there's a lot of metaphors going on in this movie. As you know, it's dealing with a modeling industry, so you know that there's a lot of intense pressure for these women to look beautiful, to be very skinny, and a lot of times that requires plastic surgery, that requires starving yourself. That just requires things that aren't natural. And there's a lot of natural versus fake in this movie. Or, I forget the exact word that they use in this movie. But, there's characters that have had plastic surgery to make themselves look good. And then there's Elle, I'm just going to call her Elle, that is... all natural. Everything about her is natural, and Elle Fanning was the perfect cast for this part. She has so much natural beauty, like, it's ridiculous. So she was perfect for this role. She was like made for this role. She also fits the body of a model perfectly too. And the scary thing is she was 16 at the time, so she like killed this part. And the interesting thing is that it really answers it, but it really doesn't answer it at the same time. There's one scene that I put up on my Facebook and Instagram of my favorite phrase from this movie, but I can't even remember. I think it goes something like, okay. I'm actually gonna look that up and continue talking because I really am gonna butch that, and I don't want to butch this. But yeah, this film also has this theme of like obviously jealousy and envy, and really the I don't want to say like the pain that the pain or the I don't know, the torture pretty much that modeling puts you through. Beauty isn't everything, it's the only thing. And this comes after a guy saying that beauty isn't on the outside, it's on the inside, and one of the leaders of the modeling industry said, yeah, well, if she wasn't beautiful, you wouldn't look twice at her, you wouldn't even care about her insides. And he's like, beauty isn't everything, it's the only thing. And that's a statement of, fact. If we're not really physically attracted to the person that, we're dating, it's just, you're just not going to look twice, you're not going to find out what she looks like, you're not going to be really interested in her. And then also, like, it is also a damning statement of, like, the overcompensation of, like, just solely focused on beauty. And it's a really, really just powerful line. So with that being said, like I said, I will. Now is the time for spoilers. So I'm gonna do about 2 minutes worth of spoilers here. So I'm gonna try to make myself be time myself to be just 2 minutes exactly, and that will be starting as soon as I get my damn clock out. Alright, starting now, so you can skip 2 minutes. So basically, Elle encounters one friend, but basically her friend has no goals in life. She is just lethargic. She really is just, she really admires Elle, but she just kind of, she just has nothing going in her life. And she has two friends of her own who both are jealous and envious of Elle. And Elle becomes actually full of herself throughout the movie. She just becomes worse and worse. She recognizes her beauty. She knows that other people think she's beautiful. And she really loves herself. And it becomes a point of narcissism. So basically, with this film, you have her developing into this narcissist, and these people who become increasingly jealous and envious of her. And then you have her friend where there's a scene of was it necromancy? I think when one of her friends makes out with a dead body. And it really emphasizes the fact that she is dead on the inside and the outside. It's really the person's literally dead, but she's also dead. Elle comes to her house. She's house sitting, but she really is like, I'm just here. Like, it's just like she has nothing. The girls who are jealous and envious of her, and the girl who's dead, they end up by the end of the movie consuming her. And by that, I mean literally consuming her. There is cannibalism in this movie. And yeah, it is a powerful metaphor of just the tragic just downfall of when one person gets, taken in by the city, big city life. So, yep, that's 2 minutes, and I did that absolutely perfectly. And I'm going to finish off here by saying that, the ending of the movie, the very, very ending of the movie, that's not the ending. There's still about 15 minutes left. Really leaves it's a very slow ending, but it also leaves an impression of, like, yeah, this takes a toll on you. Yeah, so if I were to rate this movie, it is my second favorite film I've seen all year. I were to say that I would give it an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. Now I know one of my other fellow reviewers that I follow, JP, gave it an 8.5. I'm right around there. I give it an 8.5 or a 9. Yeah, it's a cinematic masterpiece of cinematography. Please watch it just for that, even if none of the other things that I said interest you in any way, shape, or form. So, thanks guys for tuning in. I'm gonna, continue on with my my top 15 lists. And I'm going to do the 80s, and I'm going to release both of them on the same day. I'm going to do 80 to 84, 85 to 89. And I do have a couple things to tell you about my 70s list, so I'll say those things on Tuesday. So thanks guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thanks guys. Let me know your thoughts on this movie if you've seen it or want to see it. I highly recommend it. So thanks guys for tuning in. Have a great night. Talk to you later. See you Tuesday, actually.